Dear students, in our last lecture, we had learned about online consumers' behavior and why a consumer prefer to shop online, and also we saw the general model of consumer decision making. In our today's lecture, we are going to talk about consumers' decision process and supporting communication. If we see the consumer decision process, it has 5 stages. Number 1, awareness need recognition, in which the consumers become aware about his or her need. Then search, it means the consumer search for the alternatives available for satisfying that particular need. Then evaluation of alternatives. Under this stage, the consumers evaluate various alternatives which he has searched. And next stage is purchase stage, in which among the evaluated alternatives, the customer choose one particular option and make the buying decision or purchase decision. And after that, the last stage is post-purchase behavior. Loyalty. It means if the customer is satisfied with the purchase, it means after using the product, if the customer is satisfied, then the customer becomes loyal for the product or the firm. Now, if we understand the online marketing communications and offline marketing communications, so if you see the process, it is almost same in both the cases, whether you are going to buy online products or you are going to buy offline products, with the only difference in the communication, marketing communication. If we see when we buy offline products, so in like how we recognize our need with the help of some mass media, that is TV, radio, print media and social networks. Whereas in case of online purchasing, the targeted display ads which we see, like when we are seeing a particular video on YouTube, and a particular targeted ad displays over there, or the targeted emails which are sent by the companies, or on social media we see some products or brands. So this becomes the important factor to recognize the need, or the customer becomes aware about the need or recognizes its need. When we see in the search stage, if we are buying offline, then the catalogs which are available, the print ads which we see, the mass media, the sales people who approaches us, the product raters, or when we make a visit to a store and social networks means like our physical social networks, becomes a important factor which helps us to search for the alternatives. Whereas in case of online marketing communication, the search engines, the online catalogs, the website visits, the targeted emails sent by the companies, and the social networks like Facebook, Twitter, etc. becomes important to search for the alternatives available. If we see the third stage, that is evaluation of alternatives. So under offline purchasing, the reference groups, then the opinion leaders whom we seek advice before buying a particular product, the mass media, the product raters, the in-store visits, and social networks are the important factors which actually helps us to evaluate the alternatives which are available to us. Whereas if we see in case of online purchases, the search engines, the online catalogs, the site visits, the product reviews which are there on the websites, and those users who have already used the product and evaluated and put their reviews over there, and social networks becomes a very important factor. and helpful in evaluating the alternatives. Then fourth stage comes, which is the purchase decision. When consumers take the purchase decision and buying offline, on that time the promotions which are made by the companies, the direct mail, the mass media, the print media influences our purchase decision. Whereas when we buy a product online or through digital platforms, the online promotions which are that targeted display ads, etc., then discounts which we are getting, sometimes we get the coupons, etc., so those discounts, and the flash sales like 50% discount, 60% discount, or you put the coupon code and you will get certain discount. So all those things becomes a influencing factor which influences our purchasing decision. After a particular product is bought and the customer has used those products, the post-purchase behavior comes into picture. When we buy a product offline, the warranties, the service calls by the company's personnel, the parts and repairs availability, the consumer groups, and the social networks are some of the factors which actually helps us in confirming the loyalty towards the product or the brand. Whereas in case of online buying, the communities of consumption, the newsletters, the customer email, the online updates which are available are some important things which confirm the brand loyalty or the product loyalty once the purchase decision has been made. Then comes the internet marketing technologies. The internet marketing technologies, we have to understand the internet marketing technologies here. So the internet marketing has many similarities to and differences from ordinary marketing. The objective of internet marketing, as in all marketing, is to build customer relationships so that the firm can achieve above average returns, both by offering superior products or services and by communicating the product's features to the consumers. But internet marketing is also very different from ordinary marketing because the nature of the medium and its capabilities are so different from anything that has come before. So in order to understand just how different internet marketing can be and in what ways, we first need to become familiar with some basic internet marketing technologies. So the internet has had 4 very powerful impacts on marketing. First, the internet as a communication medium. It has broadened the scope of marketing communication in the sense of the number of people who can be easily reached as well as the locations where they can be reached, from desktop to mobile smartphones. Second, the internet has increased the richness of marketing communications by combining text, video and audio content into rich messages. Arguably the web is richer as a medium than even television or video because of the complexity of messages available, the enormous content accessible on a wide range of subjects, and the ability of users to interactively control the experience. Third, the internet has greatly expanded the information intensity of the marketplace by providing marketers and customers with unparalleled, fine-grained, detailed, real-time information about consumers as they transact in the marketplace. The fourth one is the always on, always attached environment created by mobile devices results in consumers being much more available to receive marketing messages. One result is an extraordinary expansion in marketing opportunities for firms. How can e-commerce sites know more than a department store or the local grocery stores does about consumer behavior? A primary source of consumer information on the website is the transaction log maintained by all web servers. So number one is transaction log. Transaction log records users' activity at a website. The transaction log is built into web server software. Transaction log data becomes even more useful when combined with two other visitor generated data trails, registration forms and the shopping cart database. Users are enticed through various means to fill out the registration forms. Now registration forms, what the registration forms does, they gather personal data on name, address, phone, zip code, email addresses and other optional self-confessed information on interest and taste. So when users make a purchase, they also entered additional information into the shopping cart database. Then shopping cart database comes. This shopping cart database captures all the item selection, purchase and payment data. Other potential additional sources of data are information users submit on product forms, contribute to chat groups or send via email messages using the contact us option on most of the sites. So for a website that has 1 million visitors per month and where on average a visitor makes 15 page requests per visit, there will be 15 million entries in the log each month. These transaction logs coupled with data from the registration forms and shopping cart database represent a treasure trove of marketing information for both individual sites and the online industry as a whole. Nearly all internet marketing capabilities are based on these data gathering tools. For instance, here are just we have just a few of the interesting marketing questions that can be answered by examining a site's web transaction logs, registration forms and shopping cart database. So if we examine these three things like transaction log, registration form and shopping cart database, we can answer the questions like what are the major pattern of interest and purchase for group and individuals. Then after the home page, where do most users go first and then second and third? Then what are the interest of specific individuals, those we can identify. Then how can we make it easier for people to use our site so they can find what they want. Also, how can we change the design of the site to encourage visitors to purchase our high margin products? Where are visitors coming from? How can we personalize our messages, offerings and products to individual users? So if we see, businesses can choke on the massive quantity of information found in a typical site's log file. So we describe some technologies that help firms more effectively utilize this information, which is supplementing the logs, cookies and other tracking files. So first one is the cookies. Cookies are a small text file that website places on the hard disk of visitors' client computers that allows the website to store data about the visitor on the computer and later retrieve it. So a cookie provides web marketers with a very quick means of identifying the customers and understanding his or her prior behavior at the site. Website use cookies to determine how many people are visiting the site, whether they are new or repeat visitors, and how often they have visited. Although this data may be somewhat inaccurate because people share computers, they often use more than one computer, and cookies may have been inadvertently or intentionally erased. So cookies make shopping carts and quick checkout options possible by allowing a site to keep track of a user as he or she adds to the shopping cart. Then comes the deterministic cross device. So this tracking relies on personally identifiable information such as email